Hello everyone, this is Shadow Dragon back with another episode of DC Universe Online. So there was a price guide that I never really followed up on. It was the most recent Oracle's time capsule. And that's because I didn't see any drastic changes in the prices like throughout its life. And it's not actually totally expired yet because even though the capsules stopped dropping, we're in a resurgence period. So, after every 2 capsules, we get a resurgence. So it's still somewhat alive because those opening the resurgence capsules will still get the Oracle time capsule. Although they're probably, I guess that would be 7 to 9 times less opens than before. But the prices should still be about the same. In this video, I'm going to concentrate on the collections comparing to when they first went up, as well as roughly like some of the gear pieces. I won't be concentrating too much on the emblems because like those pretty much weren't that bad when the capsules dropped. Like I just kind of picked those up probably within the first 2 weeks. If you want to see the prices from before, check out the video in the card at the top. Okay, so starting out, I did end up completing, I think, everything in the capsule except for whatever the ultra rare was. To the right of the screen is Shadow Dragon dressed up as the traditional Azrael. So, I normally don't go for the rare item, but I had to in this case because I wanted to do the accurate Azrael costume. He would actually need to wear 2 capes at once. There's the Hawk cape and then split cape, but that's not possible until they actually make a cape that's those 2 parts combined. But yeah, that is the rare collection. Hawk's cape, which actually looks like part of Azrael's cape. So we'll get into the prices of that later, but I just wanted to show that off to start with. And then off to the left is the hand accessory, the network infiltrator accessory. It's not really that flashy. Like in most costumes you put this on, especially if you try to color match it with green, it's not going to show up that well in combat. So it's kind of a subtle thing to have for what is the middle collection. Okay, so we're back with the common collection. It's just a face piece. This is Dove's goggles. So it's pretty basic. It's just goggles with like that beak in the middle. Not that flashy, but it's still iconic, so I guess that's why it's a collection. Alright, so now we're gonna go in the same order as the previous video, which again is above. As usual, all prices in this video and on the channel are for a US PC PS server. This is not EU, this is not Switch or Xbox. If you're on one of those servers, I would be curious to know how these prices compare to your server. I think there was a comment in the last video where they were kind of similar. But also as a reminder, when this capsule first dropped, it was platform specific, so that PC and PS were different. If you logged on the PC, you would only see other PC player listings on the broker. But then, like shortly after, I think it was probably only like that for like 1 or 2 weeks, and then they reverted back to going across the platform. So the prices kind of leveled out after that. Alright, so we're looking at the gear pieces first. In the previous video, they kind of ranged from the more common pieces were like 1 to 1.5 million. And the rare pieces, which typically are the chest, head, and back, were around 2.5 million. So for this set, we're looking up Prophetic. Okay, so there you do see like a drastic drop here. Don't pay attention to that. That's not actually one of the listings. You want to look at the ones that have the box at the end. So yeah, they pretty much stayed around the 1 to 1.5 million, a little bit lower. So now that it's settled in, you do see the gloves as the common item. And you got the leg plates. That one somehow got mixed in here. That's not right. Yeah, be careful of these ones that don't have boxes on. They're probably placed here to get people to click it by mistake. So we got the boots. In some capsule sets, the older ones, the boots were pretty common, like boots, belt, hands. In other sets, the boots kind of switched places with the legs. But it seems like all these are pretty common until you get to the head, chest, and back. So like you don't see any of those listed here yet. And these are still similar prices to the previous video. But in the previous one, we did start seeing the rarer items at like about 2.3. And we'll see if that's still consistent. So given the amount of inflation, the armor pieces are not too bad to collect as far as like the capsules. So here you see the back box at about 3 million. So the rare ones actually went up over time, and the common ones went down. So you see the chest here doubled from the other video. So that's something to keep in mind for whatever the next capsule is. You might want to pull the trigger on the rares a little bit early if they keep the algorithm the same as the Oracle Time capsule pieces. Alright, let's take a quick look at the emblems. I know I didn't cover it in depth last time. I don't even know if I looked at them. But for emblems, I'm just going to go to Enhanced. These are going to be mixed in with others, but the obvious Birds of Prey ones are, you know, like the Birds of Prey characters, like Poison Ivy. So these roughly were about the same as well. They're like 1 million a piece, a little bit lower. So these probably jumped up a little bit due to the capsule not dropping anymore. But across the board, I didn't notice anything too much that was particularly rare. I even picked these up on a couple of characters after finishing it for the account, simply to save on, you know, just like the replay unlocks. Like if I found one cheap, I would just pick it up on the character. There was one character where like I got the standard ones by pretty much just doing that, like just grabbing the cheap one each time, and I got stuck on Black Canary. So it's possible that one, like just regular Black Canary, not the enhanced one. So that may have been just bad luck, because it's kind of weird if the regular one is cheaper than the enhanced one. But other than that, they kind of dropped pretty evenly, or it was just not noticeable to me. Okay, so let's get into the prices of the collections. So going back to the Dove one, so again that's this face piece here. The Dove one is the common collection here, and in the previous video all the pieces were about 1 million, and the final rare piece was 28. So we'll take a look at that. Collections, and I did collect I did get the Dove mask on both accounts. So we'll take a look at one piece here. And I noted that yin was in it, but that might be too common of a fragment. Yeah, so I went down a little bit. Yin pendant. You can kind of say that's in the same bracket because that's almost $1 million. So not too big of a difference there. That basically just says it might not be worth it to wait for like the common pieces, but still, my suggestion in trying to get these collections is if you don't get the rare, don't buy the common ones, because then you have a chance of not finishing it. Like if you get the rare, go ahead and sweep up the common ones, because you're pretty much just going to be able to go to the broker and get them for about $1 million a piece. So those are pretty consistent throughout. The rare piece was Tarataya's gift. So you do have some inflated ones. I had that listed at 28 before, so it is up, probably because of expiration. Let me look up quickly what I actually bought that for, because I did note that. Yeah, I ended up getting that for 20 on both accounts. So percentage-wise, it's kind of big, but if you say 20 to 30, like most people have 20 million are going to have 30 million. It's not a huge difference when you look at it in that way. So I would say for the rare piece, you want to get it in the middle towards the end, but before the capsule expires. Because I'm guessing this jumped up to 30 because it stopped dropping. We'll see if that carries over to the middle collection. So we're looking for the InfoSec collection. Previously, the pieces to that were also 1 million, except for the final. So that went from 1 million with the final piece at 70. If you look at the older video, I think network should get us at least one of the pieces. So instead of 1 million, these are like slightly over and into the 2s, 3s, and 4s, which we did kind of see a bit more of a spread in this middle collection than the common one. So I think percent-wise, it did rise, or it did change about the same amount. White hat is the rare piece, and that was 70 in the older video, so that went up a little bit. And what I actually bought it for, I actually got one to drop, and I bought one for 40. So that went over double in price. But again, this listing in this video might be a little bit inflated because there's only two here, so they kind of control the market, these two guys. And the rare piece for the cape, yeah, these are starting to get rare, so we might not get an accurate listing here. Before these, all pieces but the last ranged from about 2 to 5 million, so that's probably still consistent. The rare piece is T-Char, so we'll just look for Char. And there's no more on there. Okay, so when I last... Oh wait, there it is. No, that's something else. Okay, when I last looked at this, which was earlier today, there was only one for 800 million. In the previous video, or around that time period, it was 600 million. And then what I actually bought it for, and I was only able to get this on one account, and at a sacrifice too. I didn't get it to drop because I mean it's the rare of the rare collection. But I ended up getting it for 390 million. And you know, in order to pay for that, like I'm unwilling to blow that amount of money, like straight up. I pretty much had to sacrifice an old material, which I actually profited because of that. Like I ended up selling the material for 500 million. And that's because it was exclusive. So that means I basically won't have that gaining value in my inventory anymore. So that, I mean, that's the sacrifice there. That's basically one strategy in how to complete the rare collection in any time capsule. You're just gonna have to have something in your inventory, roughly 2 to 3 years old, that jumps in value. But yeah, that'll pretty much do it for the Oracle time capsule. In neither of the videos, I didn't really show the emblems simply because I don't really use emblems that much, and I didn't work with the Oracle style quite yet. But you can look at those in the link in the description below. I'll link to the official announcement where you can see all of these items. But I just wanted to concentrate on the prices as well as the prices of the collections. So I hope you had some luck getting this, but if not, you still have that month of Resurgence to get it. And Resurgence is more of a bargain anyway, because you have a chance to get some of the older capsules, and you're also getting 2 of them for free. So be sure to take part in that. What I usually do is open the minimum for each of the regular time capsules and save the rest of my stabilizers for Resurgence. Okay, that is it from here. Happy hunting and thanks for watching.